Behold, map. We started at this city, and then we ended up over here last time, and then we gotta go to this town, and then this castle. That's about it. Last time you saw my broke ass, I was barely able to afford a downgrade. But after getting me hustle on with the rest of my bone thugs on St. Clair East 99, I am finally able to buy the absolute cheapest possible piece of equipment. This ordinary plank of wood can deflect even the strongest of insults, and provides protection from stares. But I digress, like always. Welcome back, loyal henchmen and henchwomen, to Let's Freakin' Play Dragon Warrior 2, The 1000-Month Window, written and narrated by yours truly, Karmajolt, and his staff of underpaid and uncredited writers. In the last episode, an evil golden statue commanded us to stay away from the Northeast Mini-Mall. So that's exactly where we'll go after we grab a quick bite to eat from the nearest meat and mead. Without provocation, our brave hero is accosted by a single pathetic enemy. Ain't nobody got time for that. Wait, never mind, that didn't take very long at all. It seems as though the adorable insect would like a salty runback, however, this time enlisting the services of his identical mom. 2 fierce strikes will send them marching one by one straight to hell. Hurrah! We might be able to make it in time to sit down at a booth and order without forcing the waitstaff to stay after business hours. Either way, our first order of business is to head north to pick up some power converters from Tashi Station. But prepare yourself for multiple egregious interruptions along the way. It seems as though the citizens of this stagnant and mundane land possess a dubious aversion to traveling. You'll notice as the game progresses that there is not a single road or path to walk on throughout the entire planet. This time, our enemies decide to attack our valiant hero 3 at a time, as if they've grown smarter about their aggression or something. Still, if they'd like to significantly increase their chances of victory or even survival, I would suggest they purchase some fine weaponry or armor from the merchant to the south. Better yet, why don't they just be nice to me? After a long and boring quarter-mile voyage, we have finally arrived at the castle town of Salt Lake City, Utah, home to one of the busiest international airports in the United States. Other than the NBA's all-time leader in assists and steals, the airport is pretty much the only notable feature about this place. How fortunate! It seems we have just enough math to purchase 2 Flintstones antidote capsules and 2 medicinal marijuanas. For some reason, however, this eccentric peddler has granted himself the right to tell us what we can and cannot carry. Because the reigning monarchy has elected to spend approximately 27% of its tax budget on military efforts, there is no established public education system to benefit the common citizens of the Tri-City region. Therefore, only like 1 or 2 dudes in the entire game will have anything useful to say to you. The irony here is that Zangief would be smart enough to recognize this blatant and obvious truth if only he had any degree of formal education, which he refused to receive despite his parents' suggestions. To our dismay, he remains ignorant as balls and seeks his information from the dumbest of sources, like this dim-witted thief who tried to steal a house with a fishing net. I guess he's just a 2-bit criminal in an 8-bit town. The man in the northern cell was jailed for illegal poaching in the Forest of Fragrance. Of course, when a rich white guy like Zangief kills an animal, he's just leveling up and is praised for his admirable work ethic. To our left, we can observe the lone employee of the local aquarium preparing to introduce a shipment of saltwater guldines to their new habitat. Another form of prison, if you think about it. He has locked the door for privacy reasons. I guess he's just being coy today. The woman guarding this flat-screen refrigerator asks if we are a friend of her brother's. Although I've never met him in person, I have a feeling we would get along. I have this exact same suspicion about Ice Cube and Neil Patrick Harris in Ford. It seems a little odd that the king would situate his throne in such a position that he is forced to stare at a wall all day. Perhaps he is secretly blind as balls and has oriented his dominant ear in the direction of approaching visitors. Even still, he can see exactly why kids love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Well, from the information we've gathered so far, it seems our quest is to search for someone. Nobody has provided a description of this elusive fellow, and we've already forgotten his name. But how hard can it be? The total population in this region is under 30, including dogs. Now look both ways before exiting the castle to prevent this from happening. Well, what better time to insert map? Basically, go this way until you see something. Remember, you don't have any healing spells, so bring lots of drugs. After encountering a rowdy-ass mouse and 2 drakes, I estimate that we've run into the 6th of our foes. It seems as if the wildlife is fairly active these days. Flying south for the winter, gathering nuts and berries to prepare for hibernation, dying at the hands of a prophesied hero, those sorts of things. Happy birthday, Zangief, as well as fellow YouTuber Freezing Infernos. Intelligence increases by 0. You've learned 1 new ability. Silly voices and shit. This sandy wasteland, formerly known as Shell Beach, was the site of a historic battle many decades ago, fought by the imperial powers of the North and the People's Common Republic of the Mage States. Although 1 or 2 landmines might still remain under the sand, most of them have already been found by accident. Did you know? You can skip any random encounter by not playing this game. As a courtesy, it is polite to thoroughly wipe the soles of one's shoes before entering the house, castle, or dungeon of a neighbor. Do not be alarmed by the scary, ominous melody echoing throughout the dark and desolate caverns that are rumored to be haunted by the tormented spirits of former asylum inhabitants. In fact, there's really not much to worry about this cave at all, aside from the idea that you might wander down the wrong path and waste 4 whole minutes of your precious time. This too can easily be avoided by consulting a map. You may be thinking that our slippery future companion is at least as strong as we if he has navigated through this semi-perilous cave unassisted. Spoilers, you are wrong. Once you reach this little pond, you'll find a fork in the path. You'll want to go north to your objective, but if you go to the west, you can find items like a strawberry rhubarb pie and 69 gold. Unfortunately, this level 43 Viking who wields the Hammer of Harming is not the adventurer we're looking for. Although I cannot understand why Zangief the Chief doesn't invite him along anyway. I think we may have lied directly to his face about being baptized in the Pond of Punctuality. Although you might not think much about a battle against 3 mice, it is important to note that many mice can grow to the size of a small horse in the world of Dragon Warrior. Of course, in the world of Dragon Warrior, a horse can be as small as a human fist. It just so happens that our human fist contains a large sword the size of a small python, which excels in the art of whacking things. I suppose it would be prudent to eat some nutrient-rich fruits and vegetables to regain our stamina and boost our immune system before the next battle. Well, don't blame me if you die or develop a fever. Zangief's HP is running moderately low. Like a true Saiyan, he becomes significantly stronger after surviving near-fatal injuries. You can tell when injuries are near-fatal because certain things, like the text box, change color. This time, our adversaries are kind enough to leave a "thank you for the beating" gift. Considering our economy is suffering from a harsh recession, this weird-looking plant is a very generous offer. You've been promoted, your annual salary stays the same, and you are responsible for a much greater workload. How about a celebratory leaf of spinach for some much-needed vitamin K? I feel as if this whole adventure so far would have been much easier if our dense protagonist had bothered to learn the ways of magic or a gun. Just up ahead awaits our destiny, the Stream of Dreams, but it can totally wait until after we've plundered this mysterious and sexy treasure chest. I really hope this old guy isn't the fabled second party member of Legend and Lore. Update, he is not, however he mentions that the Duke of Dakota was here mere moments ago. Perhaps we should check if our hapless ally has fallen into the foamy brine. Most likely, he just went home, like Elvis. I suggest that we cast the GTFO cantrips and definitely skip this stupid fucking battle. You know, in favor of a map or something. Oh, that's right, I forgot. You don't know any magic because you're an idiot, so you have to walk. Back at the village of Right Loss, some pokey nerd occupies the only room at the Motel 6. He offers to pay you 4 string cheeses per day in exchange for your unconditional indifference. You reluctantly reply, whatever, and he sings the Song of Friendship, which is annoying. Equip his disappointingly low-level ass with a sorcerer's spoon or some shit, and, I don't know, level up off-screen. That does it for this episode of Let's Freakin' Play Dragon Warrior 2. Until next time, tell your friends I'm great.